50 lawmakers from 6 geopolitical zones of the zoo petition Tinubu to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Hear the news in details. Wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world, you are welcome to Biafra Unite channel / television this very moment. Today's date is 24th of June 2024, and I have a very important information for every one of you listening to my voice right now from where you are all over the world. Biafrans and lovers of freedom, it all happened. And I want you to pay very good attention to this very news because it's very, very important. I can assure you, my people. 50 members of House of Representatives of the zoo have petitioned Tinubu of the zoo to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and discontinue his trial, his kangaroo trial for sure. So without further ado, I will be reading from the Punch newspaper, one of the zoo Gota media platforms, and this is their title: 50 reps demand Nnamdi Kanu's release. About 50 members of the House of Representatives spread across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country under the aegis of concerned federal lawmakers for peace and security in the southeast have appealed to President Bola Tinubu to invoke Section 174 of the Constitution of Nigeria 1999 as amended and Section 1071 of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act 2015 to release the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, from the custody of the Department of State Services. The lawmakers selected on the platforms of different political parties in a letter addressed to Tinubu dated June 19, 2024, urged him to commence a peace move to address the insecurity challenges in the southeast. Some of the signatories of the 3-page letter include Obiagocha Abia, Ikenga Ugochinyere Imo, Afamogene Anambra, Muhammad Dajere Yobe, Aliyu Mustafa Kaduna, Midala Balami Borno, and Abiante Awaji Inombek Rivers. Listen, I'm reading this because of a certain reason which I'm going to tell you at the end of it. Others are Dominic Okafo, Anambra, Etanabene Benedict Delta, Abdul Malik Danga Kogi, Shehu Dahatu Katsina, Chinedu Martins Imo, Matthew Nwogo Imo, Peter Anekwe Anambra, Kogi Sagir Kano, and Amobi Oga Anambra, among others. This is as the lawmakers urge Tinubu to mandate the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Lateef Fagbemi to invoke his powers of nolle prosequi under the provisions of Section 174(1) of the Constitution and Section 1071 of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act 2015 and cause the release of Kanu from detention and discontinue his trial. The fear of Simon Ekpan Joko Otirizum. The letter read in part: Your Excellency, we are concerned members of the House of Representatives of the Federal Republic of Animal Kingdom, Nigeria, with a strong belief and trust that the renewed hope agenda and various positions reforms will be seen and felt by all. It is against this backdrop that we, the undersigned, hereby beseech Your Excellency to direct the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Prince Lateef Fagbemi-San, to invoke his powers of nolle prosequi under the provisions of Section 174(1) of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended in 1999 and Section 1071 of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act 2015 and cause the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from detention and discontinue his trial. We collectively believe this is long overdue and will be instrumental in opening the door for much-needed conversations surrounding peace, reformation, and inclusivity, as well as addressing the issues that led to the agitations, especially at this time when Nigeria is going through several constitutional reforms. Your Excellency, we resolutely believe that this singular act can serve as a pivotal gesture towards national unity, as it will address some of the political, security, and economic concerns in the region. It will encourage stakeholders from the Southeast to engage more actively in the national discussions on the renewed hope agenda. thereby promoting inclusivity and addressing long-standing grievances. This, we believe, will also help dismantle the apparatus of violence and restiveness that has plagued the region, allowing for a focus on economic growth and development. This comes at a time when the nation-state is under enormous pressure, including but not limited to unemployment, insecurity, hunger, and poverty, thereby de-escalating tension from all sides. Moreover, we as key actors in the renewed hope agenda of Your Excellency are not unmindful of the fact that Your Excellency has extended this gesture through the office of the Attorney General in the charge involving Omoyele Sowore, wherein he was charged with treasonable felony in charge number FSC/ABJ CR/235/2019, Sunday Igboho and others. All these recorded tremendous successes, especially in resolving the crisis within the North Central, Northeast, and South-South regions, not forgetting peace effort in the Niger Delta region, which have helped in many ways. They noted that the establishment of the Northeast Development Commission, Ministry of the Niger Delta Development Commission, presidential amnesty, and various host community laws were all commitments to show good faith to the plight of the people as well as resolving regional crises. It is therefore our conviction that fixing the challenges in the Southeast will go a long way in changing the narrative and showcasing your commitment to upholding the principles of rule of law, justice, and fairness, which are the bedrock of our democracy. It will also set a precedent for addressing issues through dialogue rather than prolonged political and judicial persecution and a broad show of executive lawlessness. We therefore implore Your Excellency to adopt this approach, save the Southeast, and pave the way for a national conversation to restore, safeguard, and improve the resources and economic activities in the Southeast. The primary responsibility of government is the protection of lives and property, stressing that facilitating the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will demonstrate a commitment to upholding the principles of justice and fairness, which are the bedrock of our democracy, they added. Now, the first thing I want to show you is this. If you look at the names of those that signed this very petition, you will see that they are from all angles. They all came together from almost all the 6 geopolitical zones of the zoo, both the Igbos, the Fulanis, and all of them, including the Middle Belt. So that means it is not an Igbo thing in the zoo. That is number one. Now look at what they said here. Your Excellency, we resolutely believe that this singular act can serve as a pivotal gesture towards national unity. As it will address some of the political, security, and economic concerns in the region. It will encourage stakeholders from the Southeast to engage more actively in the national discussions. Did you get that? Look at it. They said it would encourage stakeholders from the Southeast to engage more actively in the national discussions. Are you feeling it? These people are not aware that nobody wants them to engage in the so-called national, discussions or national unity or whatsoever. National unity for oil. But national unity for equality, justice, and equity is nowhere to be found. It's not there. Nobody talks about that. It is only national unity for oil, for our oil to be drilled, to be taken on a regular basis, and for our oil in Bayelsa to belong to Jigawa, for our oil in Anambra to belong to Sokoto, for our oil in Imo State to belong to Lagos State. So you shouldn't in any way talk about national unity when politics is concerned. When the so-called equality and other things they normally sing like a song, equality, justice, fairness, and equity, it has nothing to do with national unity as far as these people are concerned. I'm talking about the Fulani. As far as they are concerned, don't talk about national unity when it comes to politics, equity, fairness, and justice. But for oil, yes, there is national unity. So these people do not understand this. The time they will understand it, the better for them. Of course, we appreciate them calling for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, no doubt about that. But they must understand that whether they call for his release or not, we will keep on doing what we are doing until Biafra is restored. It's either they release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu now and allow him to be free while we fight, while we keep fighting, or they release him with the Biafran flag at the time Biafra is declared. Thank you, my people. Toast Salon Mozia and make it go viral.